I have three very important guests here today. I have Chelsi Thomas, who is the founder of Sincerely Yours Productions, and we were both interns together during the 2016-2017 season. Brendan London, former Super Bowl champion. Chelsea and I both met him with the New York Giants, and also he's a Daily Blast Live host. And I have one of my best friends, Mike Pelham, who played college basketball at SUNY Purchase College, and he's also a paralegal. So we all know what's going on in today's it's been tough, and I can't imagine what you guys have been going through with these protests and the death of George Floyd, and some comments we've been seeing, and also some comments we haven't seen from public figures in today's world. So the reason I have you today is just for me to listen and just to learn, and I want to hear what you guys think. So we'll start off with Chelsea. You were at one of these protests the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Tell me how you're feeling, and how did it go for you? Because it seemed like from the photos you posted on your Instagram page, it seemed like it was peaceful, and I just want to know how it was.
Yeah, it was super peaceful. I'm from the Lower East Side, so I chose to go to a protest in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We started on 9th Street and Avenue D. We walked down all the way to One Police Plaza. We were at the Brooklyn Bridge, then we walked up to FDR Drive, and I took photos, but one of the things I really want to stress about these protests, so there are a lot of white allies out there, right? And I think it's very important for white people, and the people that I was with during the protest, the community leaders from the Lower East Side, they're people of color, they said this. They're like, listen, let the Black people lead the protest, and you guys just follow, So I think that's very important as an ally to don't forget the reason. I think a lot of people are kind of, we've been cooped up in the house because of the quarantine. And I think a lot of people are kind of using this movement as just an excuse to, it's like therapeutic for them, kind of just to get out of the house and like scream, because everyone feels that way inside, even if you don't care about the Black Lives Matter movement. But I just think it's very important to just really understand why you're out there. You're there to listen, you're there to support, and let the Black people lead it, is what I really want to say.
Brandon, what do you think?
It's, to me, obviously, when I first, heard about Mr. Floyd's death and you watch the video, it's outrage. But I mean, I'm a little older than you all. I'm 35 years old, and this is really nothing new to me. I've been at Daily Blast Live for the last year and a half, I believe, and I can't tell you how many of these shootings I've already covered. So I like to try and hold my rage, my outrage, and try and put that to something, because I understand that if I come off too militant, my voice, that message is going to be lost. So it's, my thing is, I'm gonna wait and see. Everyone's so excited about, oh, he got charged. Oh, the other officers got charged. That means absolutely nothing to me. We've seen it with Philando Castro. We've seen it with Philando Castillo and some of the others who have been killed. And we've seen their murderers, those cops, get off because they're protected by that blue shield. So it's one of those things where if you think about the city of Minneapolis, where I believe in 2017, a couple of years ago, there was the Black cop that shot and killed the unarmed white woman, and everyone went crazy, about that. And that man had been sentenced, I believe, to like 12 to 14 years. So, but that justice was swift. It was quick, it didn't take an outrage or a whole country to burn down first before there were charges. And then you heard, he died from fentanyl in his system, and he was a little drunk. You already know it because it's a circuit, it's a cycle, Taylor, when it comes to this. So when when Chelsi is saying to the white allies, be there, follow, be there, she's not saying that to be disrespectful to you all who are coming out and feel the pain that we feel. We just know that it's different for us because we have a hat in the ring in that sense. And my father, Coach Mike London, head coach at William and Mary, he spoke out, and he was just talking about you know, how we need to unite and everything like that. And, you know, everyone kind of tried to hop on him. Oh, you're just a football coach. You don't know what you're talking. We're talking about the first black head coach in the university and first black head coach at University of Virginia and William & Mary. We're talking about the first black ACC coach of the year. We're talking about a former Richmond Police Department officer who was almost killed in the line of duty. So I don't want to hear anybody, you know, tell my dad to try and silence his voice, because he's been through both sides of it. He's seen the injustices on both sides. So it's just one of those things right now where I can't be mad. I can't, you know, because my anger is going to be violence. I don't want that. I'm trying to get together with some of the leaders. I live in Denver, where we shoot the show. Some of the leaders in the community, the police community, to try and put some sort of legislation or something to try and do something, because there's different levels to the fight. You know, there's different things. I have to use my platform. But, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, take up all the time. Mike, I definitely want to hear from you, brothers, especially at the paralegal aspect of it, for the legalities and what we should be doing and that sort of thing. Because as soon as we show anger or get mad, it's like, oh, look at them. Oh, look at them. They're the protesters. They're the rioters burning. No. It's not like that. So, Mike, I would love to hear from you, man.
Yeah, like you said, you can't just react in the beginning. You have to wait and see what happens. You know, it's going to be a long process. You know, obviously they got charged really fast. They were processed really fast. But now, you know, obviously it's going to go to trial. And that could take however long, you know, weeks, months, maybe even possibly half a year. And you know, like I was talking to Taylor before this, it's really on the Attorney General to make sure that justice is served. You know, the defense attorney, he's gonna try and drag this process out as long as possible, because that's his job. And you know, meanwhile, the public is gonna be sitting there waiting the whole time, and the pressure's on. The pressure's already on. So, you know, from a legal standpoint, we just have to wait and see. You know, keep the protest going if possible. Make sure it's peaceful, because we don't want to give anyone the wrong impression. You know, just stay peaceful. Peaceful protests have been done for hundreds of years, so just got to make sure we don't keep committing violent acts. It's not going to help anything. And you know, I sat there and watched the whole video of George Floyd, and it made me sick to my stomach. You know, it was a hard thing to watch. And I've seen other videos in the past, but this one, it was so monumental. And hopefully this makes change happen.
We've seen. Oh, sorry.
And I kind of to touch on what Michael's saying. That video was just it was a combination of what Chelsi said, of one, people being in the house. You know, we've been in the house, we've been quarantined on lockdown. And that video was the cherry on top, because just think of what we had to look at in the span of, a week and a half, 2 weeks. We looked at Ahmaud Arbery, chased down, gunned down by some good old boys. And we saw that video had been out for a long time, and certain district attorneys didn't want to touch it because they knew that man. And they got passed along. And it wasn't until a public pressure was applied and that video was seen by the masses until finally something happened. Fast forward a week later, what do we see? The lady in the park calling the cops on the man. She knew how to weaponize her privilege. She knew how to weaponize her voice, because the police were going to come, and what were they going to do? It was going to be, if someone was to call the cops on me and I did nothing wrong, you're wrong. Your dog's not supposed to be off on a leash, you know, not supposed to not be on a leash. You call the cops on me, the cops come over and ask me for ID. No, don't get my ID, get hers. Of course I'm going to be somewhat confrontational when it comes to that. And what was that going to, you just knew it could have led to something. That's all I'm saying. And then you fast forward a week later, and then you see a man that's already dead, and you see a man have his knee on him for 3.5 minutes longer. That outrage right there alone will have people's skin boiling. And then we get to the protest. And then you see the narrative just get flipped. You see mainstream media. I'm in mainstream media. And our producers made sure to show all types of sides. because you see one thing on one news outlet and it's, oh, look at the blacks. They're running through Target. They're burning down black businesses. But then you see the little YouTube star and his little friends, what's his name? Jake Paul, Logan Paul. I don't know his name, but he's running around in a mall vandalizing. No one's calling that out. No one's calling out, the white groups that have been sent there to start that chaos. And then you started to see it pick up because it was being shared over and over again on social media. So it's like we're fighting. It's like 6 different, 10 different, 12 different fights we're fighting all at once while trying to get peace. And I'm talking to Mike and to Chelsi. I'm glad you guys know how to channel that anger to be progressive and to keep it moving, because you're going to talk to some of your friends, colleagues, and you're going to come off as the angry black girl, or you're going to come off as the angry black guy. But our grandparents been through this. Our parents have been through this. So yeah, we're frustrated and yeah, we're bored. But we have to remember, we got to stay level-headed with this. We have to stay level-headed, and you guys are the future. I'm hoping you're younger. I know Chelsi's younger than me, Michael. You're probably younger than me as well. But you guys are the future. You guys are the ones that's going to keep sending that elevator up. You guys are the ones that you're going to be around for this even longer. So be ready to keep fighting that fight.
We've seen over the past 8 days, which really shocked me, there was peaceful protests all around the world, in the Netherlands, Germany. When you see something like this spreading like wildfire in a positive way, do you guys see a real serious change from this? Being that it's gotten so big and there's a lot of positive aspects to it. I know in the political system there is a lot of change that needs to be happening. There's some change that hasn't even been talked about, and I just want to hear your thoughts on maybe there is a change coming.
Yeah, I'm just not sure, because right now, a lot of people, I'm just curious to see like how long, black people always care. I'm interested to see how long our white allies like keep the momentum going, keep the pressure going. Breonna Taylor's killers are still free. So there's so much work that still needs to be done. I'm not just satisfied. Of course, I will be tremendously happy if George Floyd's murderers actually are like convicted. But there's just so much work that needs to be done that I don't know what it's going to take. And this is like some real, can we curse on this?
And what about you guys?
No? Okay, I won't curse then.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say, yeah, go ahead, curse. Do whatever you want. Okay. This is free reign.
I was going to say, like, when there's legislation passed that makes it illegal for chokeholds and different types of like knee on the neck, things like that, then I'll be happy. When everyone who's been incarcerated for petty crimes, going from like weed to not paying your child support, when they're freed, I'll be happy. Like, there's just so many steps. It's like, it's not just one thing that's going to satisfy me. And I'm sure you guys feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a small part in everything as a whole. There's so many deaths that have happened in even the last 5 years that have been untouched by the district attorney or whoever. There's so many deaths that haven't even been spoke about. So it's a small part in the process, but we have to start somewhere. All around the world, it was great to see, and you hope that this something can happen from this, but it's not over. It's been over a 200-year fight, 300-year fight. The work is beyond done. I shouldn't have to walk down the street and get sideways looks. Like, I'm just walking down the street. I'm another human being. Humanity has to change as a whole as well.
I just don't want this to be. I don't want this to be some little trend. I think of the Al's bucket challenge. You remember the ALS bucket challenge, ice bucket challenge? Everybody dumping water. I ain't seen anybody dump water on their heads in like 5, 6, 7 years. Everyone did it at the time. Yes, to spread awareness and to raise money, but now what? That's a disease that we have to eradicate. Racism is a disease that we have to eradicate. So I do not like. It's cool to see everybody from black to white to blue to green posting blackout Tuesdays and all that. And this is what you should do you should buy. Did you buy black? Did you, I want action. I want receipts. That's what's going to make me somewhat happy with it. But when it comes to the legislation and all that's definitely a start. When Chelsi said the chokeholds and all that, Chelsi, it's going to be it's a mindset we're trying to get rid of, because if they get rid of the chokehold, they're going to take it through the knee. If they get rid of you can't take a knee on a man now, they're going to put the foot. You know what I'm saying? It's a mindset that we are trying to fight. And honestly, I don't think racism is ever going to end. There are people there. It's always going to be here. I just, at 35 years old, growing up in Virginia, being the only black kid on baseball teams, lacrosse teams, football teams, neighborhoods, I would rather someone I see just be straight up racist to where it's like, you stay over there, I stay over there, than the people who pretend to be an ally. And those are the decision makers. Those are the one meeting with people behind your back, conspiring against you and all that. I don't want pretend allies. I don't, we're way past that. We should be past that in 2020. However you view me, if you don't like me because of who I am as a man, I'm okay with that. You don't like me because of my color, you're stupid. Like that's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. So it's just one of those things where it's like, who's next? When's the next one gonna be?
So I know we're unfortunately we're kind of running out of time here, but the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is really important that happened the last 2 days, is New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees, who has been very well respected in the league, has raised tons of money for Louisiana and for Hurricane Katrina and the COVID-19. But it seems like he still doesn't really understand what Colin Kaepernick's reasoning of needing for the national anthem. And he got absolutely roasted. He got absolutely torn apart on Twitter and Instagram, all social media, and he should have. And now he did an apology this morning. And a lot of people are not liking the apology because maybe he doesn't really mean it. So I want to end off this interview, I want to get your guys' perspective on what his apology means to you, and is it really an apology?
Fuck that apology, because you didn't have that energy. When did he say that statement? Like 2 days ago, a day ago?
It was about a day ago.
You're telling me in one day, now everything's clicking? Now you get it? Nah. Keep that same energy. Like, I appreciate him saying how he felt. Now stand behind it. And we see you. Like, I was never a Saints fan, so I mean, it's nothing for me. Like, it's nothing for me to not. I only really watch the Giants play. I already have a problem with the NFL, the whole cap thing. I just, I gotta watch my G-men. But yeah, I already don't really mess with the NFL like that, so it's nothing for me to not turn on a Saints game. Or I already unfollowed Drew Brees a long time ago because I trust my intuition, and I already sensed that he was not with us. So keep that same energy, Drew Brees.
Yeah, I'm not a big football guy, and I've honestly never heard Drew Brees, make a public statement like that before. And like you said, I mean, he's just trying to cover his ass, honestly. Even his own in his corner right now, and that shows you something. I mean, that's just completely out of pocket. There's a time and place for everything, and he picked the absolute worst time to say something. And it's not even in context. It has nothing to do with America. It's nothing to do with the American flag. We're getting targeted. Black people are getting targeted in this country. So yeah, I'm not a fan of his. I never really was, to be honest with you, but no.
I look at it like this. The reporter knew exactly what he was doing when he asked him that question. How come the reporter knew to take the social injustice, why all this is going on. He obviously knew to bring that up because it's a current event that's big across the world right now, to ask him this question. Because, hey, football is coming back. Or are they going to take a knee? And, like, he dropped the ball on it big time. And I posted this morning, I posted both of my grandfathers who fought in multiple wars for this country and then will come back into the South and be refused service at a restaurant or a gas station after they just went over there to fight. So Drew Brees, yeah, your grandfather fought, and a lot of other people, your grandfather fought, and I thank them for that service because I know I'll probably get blasted, whatever. I thank them for that service. But I want to talk to the ones who they went over there and then they came back and they were still a second-class citizen over here. So if my grandfather told me to take a knee, for one of my grandfathers that fought for this country told me to take a knee, I'm taking a knee. They kind of like, you know, you fight your fight the way you fought. And I haven't taken a knee, you know, or whatever. But when you hear stuff like that coming from someone like that, it's you expect it. At the end of the day, man, like Chelsi, Mike, at the end of the day, nothing's going to shock you.
Yeah.
As you guys continue to go, it's the next one is just going to be even more egregious than the next one. And you're going to be madder on that one. And then the next one, you're going to be madder on that one. But what I'm keep telling y'all, control that anger. And keep Chelsi with your production company, Mike, with your paralegal. I want to see you AG. I want to see you take William Barr's place one day. You know what I mean? We got to channel that energy because as soon as we become angry, mad, or whatever, the narrative's getting flipped. Our message is gone. So you got to be real smart and strategical with what you do when it comes to fighting this system, because you're fighting a system to where they'll flip it in a heartbeat and then your voice just gets washed out. So keep educating, keep fighting that good fight. And Taylor, what you're doing, I love what you're doing right now, man, because I mean, you've had so many people reach out to us, so many allies reach out to us. And all. And I love how you're wanting to educate yourself, and whatever viewers are going to listen to this in its entirety and learn something from this. But all I'm saying is not everybody's eyes, not everybody's seeing it. We got camera phones and all that. Everybody's seeing it. People gonna want receipts when it comes to what action is who's doing what on each side. So thanks for having us on, brother. That was
absolutely. And I just want to add one more thing. I know you got about one more minute, Brandon, but this is kind of important when it comes to the football side of it. You've been in an NFL locker room. You know how it is. If you were his teammate, how would you take a statement from him? Because we all know there's going to be an in-house conversation. So what do you think the conversation is going to be like, and how would you respond to it? Real quick.
He's had multiple conversations already. If you look at Malcolm Jenkins, Cameron Jordan, and those Cameron Howard, Cameron Jordan, those guys, Cameron Jordan, they've come out already. Mike Thomas, Emmanuel, these guys have come out. And Malcolm Jenkins, his IG post was he had that before he had talks with Drew Brees. But in the locker room, you're not going to take the game that I love. You're not going to take the game that has changed my family and generations for years and years, and create some sort of divide in it. At the end of the day, business is business. You're going to throw me. I still want, if I'm Mike Thomas, I still want my 100 catches because business is business. But at the end of it, don't come to me with anything else. We're just going to keep this within the football realm because now I know how you feel about it. But at the same time, I would be selfish. Mike Thomas would be selfish because I'm sure he has some allies on that offensive line or in that receivers room who will fight that fight with him. So you can't tank the season, or you can't not be cool with Drew or in the business aspect of it, because you still have 50-something other guys on that roster that you're fighting for, that you're playing well for. But it's just one of those things. I know where you stand now. We don't have to hang out. You don't have to do my charity. We don't have to do any of that. Football, and then we going about our business. I think that's just the best way to handle a situation like that. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think if I was his teammate, yeah, I guess business is business. I'm still gonna get my money, but I'm make it very clear, like, I do not fuck with you. Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, we're not cool. Like, yeah, you're my QB, and that's it. Like, I'm not doing any charity work with you. I'm not doing any photo ops with you, and I'm gonna speak on it openly. I'm gonna let the media know, like, listen, like, that's just my QB. That's it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You got to keep it business as usual. But outside of locker room, outside of the field, I wouldn't be taking any pictures together, be at any charity events together. Probably won't even have my number, to be honest with you. I mean, when you say stuff like that, words can't be taken back. So, and people don't forget. And I'm not going to sit there and associate myself with somebody who feels that way. It just can't be done.
Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on. And look, I don't have a huge platform. I have a platform. So if I can help any way I can, I'll try my best. And I really thank you for guys coming on.
But even if one person comes off thinking differently after this conversation, like, that's a win.
Win.
Right.
Each one, reach one, teach one, man. It's a win. And
all right, guys.
Yeah.
I know we got to go here, but I really appreciate you guys coming on, and hopefully, when life gets back to normal without COVID-19, all this bullshit, we can just come and all hang out and just and chill.
Come to the city.
I'm down. I'm with it, and go to a Giant game or something like that. Those Giants need to start fucking winning because I'm getting sick of this shit.
Only if it's free.
Right, only if it's free. All right, guys. Thank you.